The killer in you is the power in me. Pleased to meet you, so good to see. The killer in you will keep me alive. Back to back, self-sacrifice.
As the fallout of Rebound begins right here tonight across the board for the All-Star Call League, we welcome you tonight to ACL Millennium 95. I'm Chloe, the Troublemaker James, at your service for this evening, and off the heels of quite a big event for the Golden brand, we had quite a lot getting into tonight, as we will in fact see Tsukasa take on Vamp here tonight in your main event. But not only that here tonight, we have got quite a lot stacked up, including tag team action as the Legendary Defenders, coming off an unsuccessful win for the Millennium Tag Team Championships, face off against the returning Soldier in your opening contest tonight. I was about to say, we were going to be getting to that later on tonight, but it appears as though Keith and Lance want to get this out of the way and get this done, and hopefully get back on track. Because if you saw Rebound, you will know that these two have had quite a bit of discourse happen between the both of them, evidently, as it were, in their tag team conquest. As while they did manage to get a successful win over Dojo Saotome 2 weeks ago here on Millennium 94, as we have come to see in the event since then, we have seen these two seemingly deteriorate in real time at Rebound when they were unsuccessful in facing off against the Orochi clan. God knows what the hell is going on with these two. But these two, on the other hand, the two men coming out right now, they have to be ready for them. And you can see the refocused Jax Briggs, Barrett Wallace alongside their new handler in Raven. The last time we saw these two was at the Grand Slam 6 when they were also unsuccessful. Granted, they got very damn close to facing off against the Orochi clan and besting them for the Tag Team Championships at that very same event. However, Barrett and Jax here tonight are ready to prove that they are more focused than ever, and especially alongside the man that is handling them to the ring here tonight, the Black Talon of Death, Raven, who offered his services to them last December. Ever since then, they have been off the grid for 7 months. Tonight, they have finally resurfaced, and I will very well say these two look like more well-oiled than ever, which is saying something, given the fact that Jax and Barrett have been around for nearly the entirety of the All-Star Call League. But of course they look well more oiled than ever, no pun intended. But tonight, will they show that they are a well-oiled machine more than ever here tonight in your opening contest here on Millennium 95? And here we go immediately off the bat! Immediately right off the bat, going all in on the strikes there, and just decimating Keith Kogane here tonight in the opening minutes of this match. Not even realistically giving him much of a chance to get that much of an assault back in. But of course, Keith trying his damn best to keep it going here, or at least trying to sort of mend the bridge, as it were, tagging in Lance, and Lance firing off chops and chops galore here tonight on Barrett Wallace here. And a flatliner right there, trying to go for the pin early on, and no! Only getting a 1, not even getting a 1 out of it, I should say, out of that. Barrett, however, taking umbrage with it, going right back onto the assault, absolutely demolishing Keith. Well, not Keith, I should say, absolutely demolishing Lance, I should say, in the opening minutes of this match. But Lance taking advantage, sending him up into the corner. And this is really kind of what I was talking about, what they should have been on the same page about. But Lance, on the other hand, Lance realistically has to think about getting a tag in with this one here, because he is not having a good time at this point here, and it could cost him the same way he cost it at Rebound if he's not careful. Getting out of it in the nick of time, however, Lance going right back onto the assault. But no, Barrett making the tag right there to Jax Briggs. Jax, referee getting involved with that one there. Referee getting in the way. Lance focusing his efforts too much on Barrett. Jax is literally right in front of him, however, and wave it, no! Deadlift! No! And reversing the pin right there, intentionally letting it go just like that. And oh god, a deadlift powerbomb right there by Jax onto Lance. And he was trying to make the tag, but Jax is making an example out of Lance here and now. And almost as if to rub salt in the wound, Jax making sure that Keith cannot get the tag to Lance. Going right back onto the assault, but Lance having enough time to recover. Raven, you can see, is looking on and just staring a hole right into both of them at this point here. He's saying, this is really what I have taught you. You two need to get better. You two need to dominate. And you can certainly tell that Lance is trying to wear down the only bits that Jax can be worn down on. His legs, his torso, the only bits in his body that aren't mechanical at this point. But as soon as I mentioned that, Jax immediately going back onto the offense there.
There's the tag.
And now Barrett getting the tag in. No! Lance going for a super kick once again, but Barrett once again taking absolute charge in this contest, and it's not looking good on the part of Lance here and now. He's getting decimated and decimated right here from as soon as Barrett gets back into the ring. It's right back onto the assault and wearing down on Lance. And you know Lance has to make that tag. He was practically calling for Keith to make the tag to him, but he couldn't. Barrett is just absolutely decimating him here, and God, massive show of strength here, and you can tell the fans, well, they are definitely happy to see, well, they're happy to see Soldier back. The absolute decimation and the Anger Max Slam, the absolute decimation of the legendary defenders is just... Is this really something that they could be looking upon and just say, hey, you're doing good? But no, you can hear it in the crowd here tonight. They're not sure how to feel about this more tenacious soldier that we're seeing here tonight. Like, you can sort of hear it in the crowd here and now. They're sort of turning on Jax and Barrett here tonight. Like, they are happy to have them back, that is true. But also at the same time, this is one of those situations where, is this really the soldier that we've come to know and love over the years? And Lance finally getting a chance to make the tag, and no! Barrett gets out of it just like that. Keith not getting a damn minute to be able to get the tag in for Lance. And the tag is made to Jax now. The double team right there. And this is really what I'm talking about. Not being given an inch in regards to that one. Lance is desperately needing to make the tag at this point here, because it is not looking good for him. And the gotcha grab bomb and setting him up and right into the slam. Right into the Samoan drop, the gotcha bomb, just like that. And oh, Jesus. And right now, it's not looking good for Lance. I don't know how many times I have to say it's not looking good for Lance at this point. He needs to make that tag, and he needs to make it now. But he is wanting to ensure that he can make sure. Oh, God! Laying down Jax onto his side and now getting somewhat of a second wind. Lance, I am begging you here. Stop trying to be a hero and make the goddamn tag. Finally! God! Okay, there we go. There we go. Tag is finally made in this regard. But is it too little too late? As you can see immediately, as soon as the tag is made, setting it up, metal bomb onto Keith! Lance gets decimated. As soon as Keith is tagged in, metal bomb for good measure. And you can see it right here. Lance has already taken so much damage in this match so far. And now Keith barely was able to use the ring position. 1, 2, 3. The Legendary Defenders just got absolutely smashed here tonight. And you can see it on Raven's face. He is proud of the men that he has basically helped to this point. And it's like I said, Jax and Barrett are more well-oiled of a machine than ever, and oh my God, I think we're actually going to hear words from Raven here tonight. He's asking for a mic.
My codename is Raven. I've been known by many names in my long, tenured career, as both an agent and as a combat specialist. The Shadow Agent, the Black Talon of Death. But tonight, I come to you all as the representative of these two men beside me. Jackson Briggs and Barrett Wallace, collectively known as the Soldier Unit. They have been around this company since its very inception, even been your former tag team champions at one point. As of recently, however, these two men have seemingly lost their purpose, found themselves lost in the shuffle, as some may say. But I am here tonight to tell you that their purpose has been refound. They are no longer lost. They have been reborn. Tonight's demonstration serves as a warning to the rest of the Millennium roster, as it does to the rest of the All-Star CAW League's tag team division. The Soldier Unit is back, and we will not rest until we establish ourselves as a dominant force in this tag team scene once and for all.
Menacing words on the front of Raven, and I think they serve as a warning more to everyone on Millennium more than ever. We welcome you back here tonight to Millennium 95. as we get set for our next contest here this evening, there is a... I gotta be real with you all here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. After what we just saw, especially from Raven of all people in regards to what we just saw, especially with the continued decimation on the part of the legendary defenders. First, what happened at Rebound last week, or a few days ago, I should say, in regards to that one, but also just in regards as well to what we just saw here tonight. You really gotta be thinking that for Keith and Lance, there's gotta be a lot of tension going on in regards to them and with everything with that one. But again, I'm not here to speculate in regards to that one. We've got to continue on. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting set for our second contest of this evening. Paul Phoenix, who we have definitely been seeing on a similar losing streak, as it were, since the season began. And especially given the... Specifically speaking, as someone who has not exactly been on the same page, as it were, with his own tag team partner as of late in Vamp, since, well, I would argue even last season. But here comes someone who has made his debut, I suppose, to the Millennium brand, alongside his own tag team partner. And you can definitely tell that these two, especially within the last few bits of time, have definitely been making a statement. And one could argue here tonight, Gundam Tanaka, at one point known as the ultimate sadist. Some often still call this man the ultimate sadist of the All-Star Call League, given what he has done in the past. Granted, we haven't seen him have his more sadistic tendencies in the last few years. However, there's always that little bit of darkness within him, and we've always seen that. But tonight, in his first solo match in a very long time, Gundam Tanaka here tonight is looking to make an example out of Paul Phoenix. And you can see he's in unfamiliar territory, having been made a name on the Prime brand for pretty much a very long time at this point. Tonight, his first match here on Millennium as a solo competitor has him not just in unfamiliar territory, but in a position where the man that he is literally right next to, as if playing the mind games, as it were, trying to taunt him by being so close right before their matchup is about to begin. And here we go, setting up our second contest of this evening here tonight. And you can see, just from the hard-hitting strikes alone with that one here, Paul Phoenix definitely getting a bit of a taste right here. But Gundam, as if taunting away at him, not in a good manner here, taunting at him, setting up for a powerbomb, and no, Gundam says, I'm not going down like that. And the ripcord knee right there onto Gundam by Paul Phoenix. No! Gundam, however, definitely making it clear that he is not going to go down like that! Setting up a leg drop right onto the arm for good measure, wailing away at the strikes to the skull of Paul Phoenix here. But Paul Phoenix, as we have seen, has definitely been upping his arsenal as of late, and especially more so as of late, as we have seen him in competition. But Gundam is just as furious as ever. He is arguably one of the more harder-hitting members of the roster, and we have seen that in combat in the last few years, especially during his more vicious encounters. Need I remind you of his reign as crossover champion, how vicious he was during that period of time? And no! Spinebuster chokeslam combination, and a no! Only a 1 onto Paul Phoenix, and you can definitely tell what kind of match we're getting ourselves into with this one. And realistically here, I say this knowing that these two do have a shared history with each other. Do I need to remind you all of what... Do I need to remind you of Gundam Tanaka's reign as VW Hell's Gambit champion, mind you? Because for those of you who do not remember his time as... For those of you who do not remember his time as that champion, infamously, he was quite vicious during that period of time. We're seeing once again just how vicious that these two can be. And hell, I would go to put one up there and wave it. 1, 2, no, only a 2. Only a 2, but Paul Phoenix, no! I thought he was setting it up right there, but Gundam Tanaka going for the combination of strikes! I thought Paul Phoenix was looking to go right there for the what he dubs the Phoenix Punch. That knockout blow that we've seen from him in the past, and no, and a double-handed choke bomb right there by Gundam Tanaka. You can tell that it's not just a physical transformation. He's pulling out all these new maneuvers to absolutely wear down on Paul Phoenix here tonight and showcase that, yes, he is still just as vicious as ever with that one. No! Gundam continuing to wear down on Paul Phoenix here tonight, and one has to wonder, Paul Phoenix continuing to be on that losing streak. It is definitely not in his best interest to remain on that path because he has suffered a considerable amount of losses since this season began. His losses began when he faced off against Rock Howard. When he faced off against Rock Howard at the draft, and it's just continued to falter at crucial periods of time just like that. Wait a minute! Side punch right to the head. But Gundam is still going at it, going for the assault. Right there onto right there onto Paul Phoenix. But Paul, no! Trying to go right there for a disaster kick. Right there for the springboard. But Paul continuing. No, rebounding him. Getting him, and no! Gundam Tanaka! Continuing the assault onto Paul Phoenix. And a run-up leg drop. Going right there for the pin. 1, 2, no, only a 2. And you have to imagine that Gundam has to be thinking of, no! Going for the possum right there into that, going right there for the prone kick, just like that. Knee Gundam right into the gut, and now going right back onto the assault. Smart move on the part of Paul Phoenix with that one, but also you have to imagine, is that really what you want to do there, Paul? And oh God! Did any of you think that Paul Phoenix could go for a tope? Because I sure as hell didn't. And now Gundam going up top. Oh! Crowned him just like that. Right there with the axe handle and a big boot for good measure as well. Oh, and he's going for the termination knee smash just like that! But Paul Phoenix gets right back up for that termination knee smash. Going right back onto the assault. Gundam wasting no time at all with going right for it. And we all know what he was going for with that one there. But in regards to what the hell Gundam is thinking here. And wait a minute. No, Paul turning the tides, giving Gundam a taste of his own medicine. With going right there for the sadist submission. The sadist submission, not barely getting anything right there from Paul Phoenix. And Gundam trying to go right for it. No! Almost as if teasing. Almost as if playing around with Paul Phoenix at this point. Barely telling him what to telegraph at this point here. But at what point is this realistically a case of, teasing him and just keeping him on his toes with that one versus actually going for the kill shot here? Because we all know he can pull out the Dark Deva kick at any period of time. It's more so a question of how the hell is he going to go for it? And before anybody mentions it, yes, I am aware that Paul Phoenix is bleeding right now. It happened so early in the match, I'm pretty sure it just took me a bit to realize, oh wait, no, that's blood I'm seeing from Paul Phoenix right now. And he's continuing to wear down on Paul Phoenix in that corner instead of going for the all-crucial beatdown right there and beating him and just going right there for the kill. I don't know whether or not this is ignorance on the part of Gundam Tanaka or whether or not this is a case of if Paul Phoenix specifically... Oh! God, the Phoenix punch! 1, 2, no! Phoenix punch only nets a 2 count onto Gundam Tanaka. And now he's going right back to the... Wow! Disaster kick right there. And oh god, and a deadlift side slam right there by Paul Phoenix as well. No. Gundam continuing and no! Gundam Tanaka continuing to fight back however he possibly can at this point here. But it is not looking good on the part of Paul Phoenix at this point. Gundam setting him up, putting him into the corner and a clothesline. And continuing, oh god. God, and yep, there we go. There we go. There's the hard-hitting strikes right there by Gundam Tanaka. Wailing down onto Paul Phoenix on his head. And there he hits it with the Dark Deva kick! 2, 3, no! And he's back up! And he's going right back onto it! And a big boot right there. And you have to imagine Gundam has to be thinking to himself, if a Dark Deva kick couldn't put him away, what the hell is he gonna have to do that? What on earth is he gonna need to do in order to put someone like Paul fucking Phoenix away? That is the question on everyone's mind in regards to this one. And that is me being brutally honest about this one. But Gundam Tanaka continuing to go for the assault and a double choke bomb! Hitting the target just like that. And now going up top, setting him up and into place, and no! Elbow drop right there, setting Paul Phoenix. And Paul is not looking good at this point here. He's already bloodied up for good measure. But you have to imagine, with everything else, what on earth is Gundam gonna do to take him down and deliver the kill shot? And that combination may be the start of it. But is he thinking a second Dark Deva kick? But no! Continuing to wear him down. What the hell are you thinking here, Gundam? What are you thinking here at this point? How much of this is really a game to Gundam Tanaka, and how much of this is him just taking advantage of it here? And how much would it need to take before Paul Phoenix will be able to take advantage of it? If he does take advantage of it, this could realistically be the area in which Paul Phoenix may potentially come out with the win, but no! There he goes, We thought he was going to go for it. He's going for that combination of strikes we've seen all match again. Right here, you can tell Gundam is set, heading up Paul Phoenix, deadlifting him up from the ground, slamming it back down into place. Gundam is just taunting away, knowing that he has the win in his possession here at that point. And Paul Phoenix just dazed on the outside. Gundam almost begging for him to get back into the ring, pacing around and into place here. Referee practically calling for him to get back in here. But no, Paul Phoenix that time around, denying him. But Gundam, I think, has had enough at this point, setting him down. Sadist submission in place, and Paul, who has taken damage all match, submits without any hesitation. Paul Phoenix kept getting decimated all match. He got busted open early on, and after every single bit of torment he got from Gundam Tanaka in this match, it all came crumbling down right here with that particular move. The sadist submission, the one that Paul Phoenix tried to implement on him early on, and it came back to haunt him and then some. And one has to wonder, is this a sign of things to come for Gundam Tanaka here on Millennium as a solo competitor? And we are back here tonight, getting set here for your main event of the evening. We've already seen one half of the Dudes of Destruction in action, and here comes another half of them as we get set for your main event of the evening. And I don't believe I said this at the beginning, but this matchup in particular, and in fact, both matches that we have just seen between between the matchup that we just saw at the beginning, well, the match that we just saw beforehand between Gundam and Paul Phoenix, and this match between Vash and Tsukasa, these are all matchups that will establish qualifiers for a Gauntlet match to decide who will face off against Sho Minamimoto at the next big event for both Prime and Millennium in Crossroads. And here comes someone who definitely has been on a high, has definitely been coming off a bit of an interesting situation over the last few months. As we saw just a few weeks ago here on Millennium, Haseo and Tsukasa came to an understanding, given what happened back in December. And since then, Tsukasa has tried to be back in the winning ways, as it were. winning his first match back just a few weeks ago, and tonight he's looking to keep that streak going. He's looking to keep that winning streak going, as well as earn himself one of the qualifying spots in the Gauntlet for the gold to face off against Sho Minamimoto at Crossroads. But one has to wonder, given everything, what the hell are we going to see from the next few competitors? Because we've already seen Gunnar Tanaka qualify for that match. And tonight, Tsukasa may be another one to qualify for that very same matchup if he can best Vamp here tonight. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is your main event from Millennium 40 and Millennium 95. And this is a qualifier Gauntlet for the gold qualifying matchup between Vamp and the phenomenal Wave Master Tsukasa. Let's get to it. And you can immediately see that Tsukasa is definitely not letting the disadvantage between the strength and power between the both of them, but he's certainly letting his experience speak for him in regards to that one. And you can certainly see that, well, Vamp has definitely been in the winning ways in his own right as of late. Last Millennium, he infamously tagged in regards with the current champion in Sho Minamimoto. One could argue that because of that win, and because of helping Sho win on that night, that was part of the reason as to why he's in this qualifier to begin with, as a favor to Sho Minamimoto. But I want to personally say that if you're putting your friends in regards to this one, that probably explains as to why Paul Phoenix, of all people, was put into this gauntlet. Or at least there's the qualifiers for the gauntlet, I should say, in regards to that one. But here you can see Vamp taking control of the match here. Vamp on the outside taunting when he could be going right back onto the assault on the outside. And you can definitely see taking full advantage of it. Wailing down on the knee of Tsukasa. Infamously definitely taking advantage of the situation with that knee there. But you have to wonder, how long is it gonna... No! Vamp in a smart move in regards to that one, getting out of the way in regards with Tsukasa going for the tope. And that specifically may come back to haunt the phenomenal Wave Master if he is not careful about it, because Vamp is going immediately right back to the assault here. And no! Tsukasa breaking out of it again. And really, there's a lot at stake, as I've stated. Whoever wins will join Gunnar Tanaka in that Gauntlet encounter, which will be one of the bigger matchups come Millennium 97. And you have to imagine that for someone like Tsukasa, this is going to be a lot to take in. Because especially given what we are seeing right here tonight, it's got to be a lot to take into account with that one here. Going for the calf crusher just like that. And really taking a moment to taunt away here. Potentially a bad omen, as it were, because right now it is not looking good on the part of Vamp here, but it could change literally at any time with this one in regards to this. Tsukasa continuing to keep himself going into this. And wait a minute, flipping over, no! No! The tope skidding him on the back. Vamp completely getting no hits out of it at all. Socking him right in the face for good measure. And going right for the assault again with that one. have to take into account. Because right now, Vamp is absolutely continuing to decimate Tsukasa here. But Tsukasa using his agility to counteract Vamp at this point here. But Vamp is wailing on Tsukasa at this point here now. But wait a minute, no! He could be looking for him to ride the wave! Ride the wave, hitting the target just like that. 1, 2, no! Barely getting the 2 count. Barely getting the 2 count. You know for a damn fact it's going to take more than that to take down Vamp for good measure. And he's going right back to the well, but no, Vamp getting right back up, going right to the assault. And oh, Jesus Christ, fall away! Right there into the corner and into the ropes for good measure as well. And oh God, he's looking right there for the crucifix powerbomb and clipping Tsukasa on the back of the head with the ropes on the way down. This is it. No! The phenomenal Wave Master somehow manages to keep his hopes alive in this match! And continuing to go right for the assault, going and choking him down just like that. And shoving Tsukasa right back into the ring. And continuing to wail down onto the chest and right to the side of the head as well for good measure. And continuing to brutalize him and choke him down on the mat as well. Vamp continuing, and no! Tsukasa says no in that regard to being taken down just like that, and a snap DDT for good measure. Taking him down just like that. Going up to the top of the rope just like that, and an elbow drop as well. Going for the pin, trying to see if that has done enough to... Once again, barely a 2 count. Barely a 2 count with that one there. And Vamp getting a bit of a taste of his own medicine, getting bashed into the head with those fists right there. Those closed fists to the skull. Tsukasa deciding to go right for the offensive in that regard. And no! Beautiful Pele right there from the top. Right there at the top of the skull, I should say. Hitting that top of the skull even. And the moonsault hitting as well, going for the pin again. 2, and no, only a 2. Only a 2 count with that one. And just as soon as Vamp got back up, right back down, clipping him at the knees for good measure as well. Going to the outside, corkscrew moonsault right to the outside. Corkscrew splash, I could say, sorry, with that one. Continuing to go right for the assault as well. Going right back onto it, right onto Vamp. Sending him right back inside. What on earth is Tsukasa thinking, however? And the crossbody splash. Only netting him a 1 with that one. The frustration on the mount. The frustration potentially mounting from Tsukasa with that one. And you have to imagine just what the hell is he thinking here with this one. And oh God, the springboard 450 right there from the outside. 2. No! Only a 2. Only a 2. But if I'm thinking I'm Tsukasa right now, I'm going to be thinking of a way of how I'm going to end this one here. Because realistically speaking here, if he doesn't end it soon, it could be disastrous. Vamp is getting desperate here. No, don't you dare tell me he's thinking he's that desperate. If he's thinking he's that desperate, Tsukasa may as well say goodbye to his chances of being in the Gauntlet, because right now, Vamp is going to make damn well certain. Here I was thinking he was maybe changing his mind, but no. I get the feeling that Vamp is making damn well certain that Tsukasa's down. He's going right back forward. He's setting him right back up with that one. And no, he's got that table in his sights with that one there. Setting him up for a choke slam right for that table. God damn it, Tsukasa. Tsukasa may be down for the count, and he's bringing him right back in because he knows for a damn fact that he wants to make sure that it is finite. 1, 2, 3. No! Only managing a 2 count. That was a 2.9, I would argue, with that one. And yet Tsukasa still back at it, setting him up right there for the TKO. Burning Hammer right there, I should say sorry with that one. But going for a second time to ride the wave for good measure. 1, 2, 3. And Tsukasa survives against Vamp, against all the odds. Tsukasa keeps the winning streak going, and he will be a part of the Gauntlet match at Millennium 97 to decide who will face off against Sho Minamimoto at Crossroads in a few months' time. But for Tsukasa tonight, this is the beginning of potentially the pathway to becoming world champion, to becoming a world champion again. And if he can keep this up, if he can win the Gauntlet in 2 weeks from now, he may very well be able to call himself Millennium Champion come Crossroads.